Hello guys, welcome to Daddy Share Space and welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk a little bit about Festool price increases. Um, that's a good and a bad thing. The good thing is the fact that basically if you buy Festool tools and if things continue on the trajectory that they've been going on, more than likely you'll be able to get the money that you paid for back out of your tool as long as you take care of it, simply because of the continuing price increases. So first, what I want to do is go over this list of tools that I found on different websites that have gone up in price. The websites that I've used are both Woodcraft and also Hartfield Hardware. Now, I've been buying Festool tools now for the past several years, and so I also have a record back here of my own list of tools that I bought from Woodcraft. I had them print it off for me, so I can do basically on at least one of the tools. I can go back a little bit further than what I was able to find online. So first things first, I want to talk to you about a website called Wayback. It's the Wayback Machine, and it's archive.org. If you go into that site, you can actually copy and paste any website where, like a retail website, really any website, but basically I'm using it specifically with, buying things. So if I go to Hartville Hardware and say I pull up, let's say the Festool Conturo, and I click on it, and then if I want to see how much that Conturo was, how much the price was, let's say a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, there's a chance that archive.org or the Wayback Machine would have taken a snapshot of what the price was currently. Now, it's not a functional website. It's just basically an image of what the website used to be in the past, which gives you a price. And I actually had a commenter come on one of my videos when I was talking about the dashboard, and they basically asked me if I even went on the site because I had said that the table was like $1,100, and I guess it's down to $1,099 for their smaller table. And so I had to, follow up with that person and put in the comments that there's a site called Wayback, and you can go back and see what the price actually was. And at the time that I did the video, the price was in fact what I had said it was. And there's a lot of things. That's the one thing about the internet. Everything can be recorded from now until for whatever if you put it up there. So um, without further ado, let's get into the pricing. Now, I did use a site called Calculator Soup, and I just Googled a price increase or percentage. So I put in, instead of doing the math on my own, I just basically put in the starting price, the ending price, and then it gave me the percentage of how much the increase was on each individual tool. All right, so we've got 17 tools that we're going to go over, so let's kind of just jump right into it and get it done as efficiently as possible. So the lowest increase, and this is going to go from the least or the smallest percentage increase to the largest. So the amount of money is variable, but we're talking about the percentage of increase on each individual tool. And we're going to start off with let me pull the list over in front of me here so I don't have to look off to the side. So the first increase is going to be the Festool Conturo. That is the edge bander that Festool makes. It for the set, it was $3,599. That was as of let's say November of 2024, and all of these prices went up in December of 2024. It is now sitting at $3,699, which is a 2.77855% increase. The next tool on my list that I researched was the Festool OF 2200 EBF Plus router. That's their largest router. Now, I do remember researching this router many, many years ago before I actually purchased it, and it was $999. Now, I couldn't find a record of that price, but I do remember distinctly seeing that. However, going back on the Wayback Machine, I was able to find that it was priced at $1,099, and currently it is $1,149, which is a 4.54% increase. Now, the next tool on this list is going to be the TS55 FEQ F Plus Plunge Cut Track Saw. That's their basic track saw, the corded version, and it went from a price of $599 to $629, which is a 5% increase. Carrying on, we have the Festool RTSC 400 cordless orbital sander. Now this goes for both the RTC and the DTC. This is the tool only versions, not the kits. I don't believe the kits went up in price, but the tool only versions both went up from $299 to $315 each respectively, and that marks out a 5.35% increase. The Festool Planex, which is the LS2 225 EQI Plus drywall sander, that's the one with the light ring on it. It has increased from $1,395 to $1,475, and that is a 5.73% increase. Now, the Festool ETS EC 150/5 sander, which I wish I would have picked it up when I had the chance, I didn't. Now I'm going to be hit with an increase. So the base price before was $575. Now it is $609, which is a 5.91% increase. The Festool MFK 700 EQ trim router set. Now this one I have three different prices for. I have record back here when I bought mine at Woodcraft in, let me see what the day was that I bought that. So I bought mine June 25th, 2022 for $599. The price did increase to $659. And then the most recent increase is $699. So that's like over a 16% increase from 2022 to 2025. But the year over year increase from $659 to $699 is 6.0698%. Now, moving on to the multifunctional MFT Conturo table. This is the table that they have for the Conturo. It used to be $889. Now it is $949, which is a 6.749% increase. And actually, I got two of these out of order. That's my bad. The Festool sliding compound miter saw, the KS120, has gone from $15.99 up to $16.99, which is a 6.25% increase. So swap those two. All the rest of them should be in order. The Festool ETS EC125 EQ Plus Random Orbit Sander, that particular tool has gone from $475 to $509, which is a 7.15% increase. The Festool Diamond Grinder. Now this one is kind of, a bit shocking to me because this is a fairly new tool, recently released, and it started at a price of $699 and is now up to $749, which is a 7.19% increase. I did note or take a look at the table saw and the TS60, the TSV60, those did not go up in price. Now you have the mobile, what is this here? The Festool Mobile Saw Table Workbench. That's the STM 1800. It went from $11.99 to $12.99, which marks a 8.34% increase. And then next tool up, we have the ETS C125. This is the regular sander, not the corded or the cordless one. This is the regular corded sander. It went from $249 up to $279, and that is a 12.04% increase. The Festool OF 1400 EQ F Plus router, it has gone from $649 up to $749, which is a 15.40% increase. And let me check my list here. I believe I purchased that one as well. And yes, in 2022, it was $649 as well. So that one did not have the double or price increase. Next, we have this goes for both of the router or both of the jigsaws, tool only. They have gone from $379 to $449, which is an 18.46% 20% increase. So I got my barrel grip at the 379 price. I bought the D handle at the 449, which is almost a 20% increase price. Now, next, now these are the biggest, the last two tools are the largest price increases. And what we have is the Festool MW1000 mobile workshop. It used to be $799, which is the same price as the Festool MFT3, which has not gone up in price as of yet, to $999, which is a 25.03% increase, which is quite a large pill to swallow. That's a $200 markup on that particular item. Finally, on this list that I've compiled, we have the Festool extension table, which comes with the mobile workshop. If you buy that, that has gone from $279 to $379, which is a 34.85% increase, which is by far the worst increase of all of these. So you've got a percentage in increase going from 2.77855% all the way up to 34.85%. So anyways, let me just talk a little bit about this before I let you go. One thing that I realized, well, in the case of the Contoro, it's already a very expensive device. So I can understand why maybe they don't go up as much on that. The MFK router, so I guess what I would say to that is maybe it's because it's more of a specialty tool. And it looks like when I look at the list, the things that are more specialty, barring the Contoro, seem to have gone up the most amount of money. So when I look at, let's say, the extension table, now I'm sure there are people that buy the extension table, but I'm thinking most people that are in the market, the extension table by itself doesn't really serve much of a purpose because it doesn't even have two legs. It's just an addition that adds onto your typical MFT or any of those MFT style tables. So that being said, I don't see I can understand why maybe they want to increase the manufacturing costs on something like that that is more like of a niche product within their own product line. I mean, if you think about it, like if they're not selling very many of them, in order to keep them in production, this would be, I guess, a positive business move would be to raise the price. So anybody that does want it would actually have to pay more for it. You can actually see that too with the STM 1800, which basically started out at like $999, and then it came back at, I want to say, $1,199, and now it's gone up another $100 to $1,299, which again, that's another, in my opinion, like more of a niche type device. Not everybody's going to buy that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Definitely the RenoFix, which is the diamond grinder that came out recently. That particular tool, I'm surprised that it went up so fast because it just came out recently. However, I can understand why it would go up so fast because if you think about it, if you're selling less units, you want to sell them for more money so that you can basically recoup your, R&D development costs. So I could understand that. Same thing with the MFT Conturo table. Not many people are buying the Conturo, more than likely, and so as a result, that makes for the high price tag for the Conturo, but also for the table that you would only buy if you actually bought the Conturo. Other than that, everything else seems pretty, straightforward. Tools on this list that, I would like to get if it's possible. Obviously, I was looking at getting the corded track saw so that I would have the whole array so that when I do videos and stuff, I would be able to give comparison contrast between the different ones. So that's still one tool that, I kind of missed out on by not buying it sooner. I do want to get a Conturo Edge Bander. I was thinking about getting it early this year. However, right now I'm in the market of looking for another car because I haven't been able to fix the Saab as of yet. I haven't given up on it. It's just that I've kind of turned my attention to try to find another like used car around here because I'm not a person that likes to carry debt. But I think this is the poor season right now to be looking for, really anything, because anything that's not like basically this is the shelf price, anything that's negotiable is kind of sketchy right now. But anyways, that's another story for another day. So Maybe later in this year I'll get the Conturo, or maybe I'll kick it to next year. I haven't decided yet, but I am thinking about getting that for my shop. Um, but that's one thing. The other thing that I wanted to pick up was the Plain X drywall sander. That's another tool that I feel like is not everybody's gonna buy it. However, I do have the DeWalt drywall sander in my shop right now, but it is battery powered, which means it's exclusive for battery. And the Plain X would give you the ability to kind of have like all day long type sanding, and that would be an interesting video to try to do the comparison to, compare features. I know the new Festool Plain X has the light ring so that you can actually see, any imperfections in the wall. And my drywall work is terrible. I mean, let me tell you, I'm always seeing the little ridge where I'm trying to sand. So I have a lot of practice that I need to do to get that underway. I would like to get the diamond grinder. It's not really a tool that I would really need often. However, as I said, I wanted to kind of have a complete Festool shop, and then who knows? I might use it in the future for some reason or another. That one's a low priority item, but it is something that is kind of on my list. Um, the STM 1800. I do want to get that. I do want to get that because it's a very unique solution for being able to rip boards, and also if I do decide to move away from my 4 foot by 8 foot MFT so that I can get more space back in the garage when I'm not working with my tools, that would be like if I bought, like, say, maybe another MFT to connect to the MFT I have, and then fold those up and put them away, which gives me that floor space. Or if I decided to go with a dashboard or a bench dogs table, those are all options. Let's see, I got both of the jigsaw, so I checked that box. The extension table. Now I was considering getting the MF 1000 mobile workshop. Now that price increase is pretty steep. The only thing that would make me still consider it, because I've heard some people talk on YouTube and they say like the bottom plastic, like there's broke or whatever the case may be. But I know, what happens to one person may not necessarily happen to everybody. But I thought it was a, pretty nice little, independent little workstation that you can kind of move about, whether you wanted to take it outside or whatever. The MFT 3, though it is mobile, it's not light. So I was thinking about that for maybe some small things. And I also had this crazy idea because, if you look at the dashboard table and also um, the bench dogs table, they have these things called outriggers. Now, I wasn't able to get the money fast enough to do this, but what I was considering doing was taking two MFTs and putting them together to have a wider bench. And then I wanted to see how the mobile workstations, how they actually um, are how they are in conjunction too, because I was wondering if you could use them like outriggers, right? And because of the way that the Festool tables kind of connect together, it would connect at that bar location where the aluminum is, and that's one of the benefits to using the dashboard table. You can actually cut rip cuts without cutting into your table. It doesn't appear that you can do that with the way that the bench dogs table is set up. And I was wondering if you could actually get away with using the MW 1000 as outriggers on both sides, which would add additional functionality because they have the little drawer storage and a little shelf to be able to put your sustainer. Not sure if it would be too deep to, cut around like if you were doing a rip cut, but I was actually interested in picking one of those up and seeing if it would assemble in that way, similar to an outrigger. Don't know if it would, but I was interested in that. Because basically, if you get the extension table and you do it perpendicular to the table, it would definitely be too long for you to actually cut along it. Now, I guess well, I don't know if you can actually, yeah, I don't think you can actually put it on parallel because the extension table doesn't have two sets of legs. It can only hook to one side or the other, and so that wouldn't work. I was just thinking out loud there. Anyways, guys, so this was just a little video that I was thinking about making, basically sharing, my personal research in regards to the price increases. How do you guys feel about that? I'm glad I picked up the Capex before it actually went up in price. Obviously, I already had Um, I've had I have quite a few of these tools already. So you know, it is what it is, you know, but the benefit is the fact that, and I've heard people speak about this before I even bought Festool. A guy bought a Domino used, and he was like, you know, he would be surprised if he couldn't sell it for the same price that he bought it for years after owning it. And I can see why that's the case, because it appears that at least until, you know, the market crashes for like a company like Festool, which is not an impossibility, but as it is now, it seems like, you know, whether you want to talk about, you know, global tariffs, or whether you want to just talk about inflation, it seems to me that whenever prices go up, a certain percentage of potential buyers fall off. And so the ones that are still remaining are going to, in order to support that brand, are going to have to pay more. And that's just, you know, just seems like basic economics to me. But that being the case, you know, as a result of that, you know, like say for instance, I bought my 2200 router for the $1,099 price. And just imagine if I hold on to that router, and mine has very low miles on it because I don't use it that often, because I'm working my shop time around my regular job. And then at the same time, when you buy like a large collection of tools in a very short span of time, it takes time to learn each individual tool. So it's like you spend a little bit of time with this one, a little bit of time with that one, and sometimes your tools just sit for a span of time, which means they're actually going to be more in pristine condition if, you know, you did decide to go ahead and sell the tools sometime down the line. But that being said, you know, like I said, if I buy the router at 1,099, and let's say, you know, a year, 2, 3 years from now, it goes up to $1,300, right? And we're talking about tools that are going up in price without any kind of major refreshes, like you would see with, say, like DeWalt, Milwaukee. It's like they're releasing a new drill, a new, you know, saw every 2 or every year, and so it basically decreases the value of the tools you bought. Whereas with the Festool brand, the value seems to go up, which is, you know, definitely a pleasant surprise when you start talking about buying Festool. I guess that's one of the benefits to paying that higher price, going along with, you know, the 3-year all-inclusive warranty, theft protection. All of these types of things are benefits, but it's also nice to know that if you did fall into a crunch, or if you decided, you know what, this is not for me anymore, you can actually recoup, you know, much of your money right back. And especially if the prices continue to go up like this, it's almost like you just bought a stock. It just keeps going up in value, and that's even if you use it. So I go on Craigslist and eBay quite frequently just to see what tools are available. And plenty of those tools, like right now, if you found somebody that was selling like a Vaxis, like, I mean, I think I saw somebody trying to sell a Vaxis for dang near $5,000, which is crazy, you know, because it was brand new, like only like 1,200. But people are doing that because they can, and you know, it's the same thing. So anyways, I am rambling now. I want to thank you guys for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care.